everyone. My name is Alex Lazarus, and I'm so excited to be hosting Adobe Express today. We are going to be taking you through kind of everything you need as a trained designer to be able to kind of streamline either your business, your client's business, anything you might need through Express. So we're going to be working in Illustrator, some Photoshop, bringing some of those pieces that you've already made for maybe yourself or a client, and then pulling that directly into Express. So I'm super, super excited. We're going to make some social stuff, some posters, some really, really fun things. Today, I went way overboard. I see some really incredible people. Annika just streamed. It was awesome. I see Voodoo Val in chat as well. What up, Steve? Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you are tuning in on YouTube, come on over to Behance at be.net/Adobe Live. You'll hang out with us so I can read chat. We can, I want to hear your questions. I want to answer them. Let's jam. We've only got an hour today and an hour tomorrow, so I'm really excited. Like I said earlier, I went overboard for this project. I am so excited. Let me walk you through what we're going to be working on today and why I'm excited about it. So come on over to my screen. We're going to be looking at Express today. For those of y'all who are not familiar with it, this is an incredible way for you to start to kind of get assets out there. You can do a social post, posters, flyers, websites, anything you want to do really quickly, you can do with Express. So it's awesome. But come on over. We're going to go to my page really quick. I just posted this earlier on my Behance. It's called Summer Camp. The idea for this project is to get your energy back. So you might be burnt out. I know that the great resignation's happening. Everybody's looking for new jobs. You might be feeling a little bit under the weather creatively, and you want to start actually making work that you enjoy. So what we're going to do is, if you want to, you're totally allowed to come with me on this journey. It's essentially just a quick little recharge every day. So on the weekdays, no weekends. You guys already work so hard. Just make sure that you get to work on some stuff that you want to. So for me, I'm going to be in LA a bunch this summer. I want to kind of make a summer camp type thing where it's like a little bit of creative boot camp, a good little energy refresher. I posted this on my Behance. I will post this in chat as well. Inside of it, there is a file for you to download if you want. It's right here on the side. This will take you to the creative brief. And so in the creative brief, you can download it and kind of keep it in your back pocket whenever you want. And you can start using this as kind of like a guidepost. So essentially what we're going to be doing and why we're doing this is really important. It's to get your creativity back, get that energy level back up, feel really good about what you're doing, you're producing, getting it out the door. It's really simple. It's not supposed to take tons of time. Obviously, you can spend as much time on it as you want, but we're looking to have just like one image per day. So I think square is probably an easy constraint for you if you want. It don't have to be. You can make it 9:16 if you want, or any traditional style. That's totally fine. You can use any of the tools in your tool chest. You can use Illustrator, Photoshop, Express, anything you want to get this work out the door. But I think you're going to really love some of the features that we're going to be walking through today through Express. And so I would encourage you to use this to your advantage. Essentially, the whole theme for this is make it fun, make it whimsical, treat it like summer camp. Some people have different ideas of what summer camp is. For me, I'm going very beachy, California, fun in the sun. I'm trying to have some fun with this. And I love water. I know Val does. I know Annika does. I think y'all were talking about it in the last stream. I wanted to make this feel very just like a palate cleanser for your creative soul. Really just enjoy the blues, the water, just let that just kind of soak over you and have some fun with it. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this project. I'm going to be working on, social posts, templates, videos, animations, things like that. And I'm going to be using Express and Photoshop and Illustrator throughout. So make sure you go download the brief if you want. It's a great way to kind of do a creative kickoff every morning. We started off with just like a 30-minute thing before the day kind of takes control over you. You can just knock it out really quickly, get your posts done once per week. And you should have about 40 of these by the time, it starts from June to the end of July. So about 40 of these by the time you're done. It'll be awesome for your portfolio, it'll be great for your social, all that great stuff. So what I'm gonna actually take you through right now is a new feature that I love, which is once you're making all these awesome pieces, you can actually start scheduling out your social through Express, which is insane. It's so awesome. I absolutely love it. You can go connect all your stuff. You can do an add new. You can collect I don't have my socials connected to it right now. I'm not really big on social. I love Behance. Go check them out, Behance. But you can connect whatever socials you prefer and then post it. You can set the captions, you can schedule it, you can get it all lined up. So once you're done with building these out in Express, you can just knock them out and put them on your social or have them scheduled ahead of time, which is huge. So without further ado, let's jump into Express. So for those of y'all who may not be familiar with it, there is just an incredible amount that you can do with an Express. You can go in here and you can start playing with some templates, your stories, posts, anything like that. You have the option really quickly to already have the dimensions built out for you. It's super, super, super easy. But what we're going to look at really quickly is just kind of the behind the scenes of how I typically build these projects. If you've seen me do design work on some of the branding streams before, I typically have a pretty messy artboard, so I'm not tidying it up. I'm not trying to act like I'm super organized. This is very raw and real. I want you guys to see kind of how the madness in my own brain works. There's a lot of really, really organized designers as well on Behance. So it's not one size fits all by any means, but I wanted to show you, I've got this creative brief. I've got some layers and textures in here. What I want to show you is some of the things that you can already do. So I'm going to open up my libraries image or panel here. It's loading. Libraries. All right, so I built a new library section in here called Summer Camp 2022. What you can do with this is you can pull your color palettes, traditional things that you've already done, typically with your libraries palette. I've also pulled in this noise texture because I'm going to want to pull it into some of these images, which is super awesome. Hey, Shauna, I see you in chat. How are you doing? So what we're going to do is I've even put a logo in here if we want that. We have options. But what I've already started doing is I pulled together these kind of three colors that I have. Obviously, we can have white as a background color as well. I think it contrasts the blue really nicely. But I've got a bunch of different logos as well that I've made just for funsies, right? Like I want to just use this as an opportunity to have some fun, build some brands, post it on my portfolio, post it on social, all that good stuff, and just have some fun with this. So I'm constantly trying to see how I can lock up collateral, make a social post and things like that, which is super fun. So I like to make all my logos in black and then I'll change them into color. So that's just really simple how you can use kind of Illustrator. I'm going to start pulling in some of these badge references as well. So I'm not going to collect the background image. I'm just going to take this creative recharge badge and I'm going to only select the badge part of it. And I'm going to remove the background selections and I'm going to click the plus button and that's going to click add graphic. And then I'm going to just rename this from artwork to badge 1. Very simple to get your kind of pieces in there. And then what I'll do is actually go into, my projects page. I'm actually going to refresh it really quickly. And then what I'm going to do is I can quickly go in and make let's say an Instagram post, right? Like a 1x1 square could be a really fun way of showing this little logo we've made. I'm going to click the libraries button. I'm going to click, it's going to load summer camp. And now you can see it's already pulling in the logos and badges I've made. I'm just going to pull it onto our screen. That's awesome. Boom, super simple. Will look a little bit pixelated until it loads in for you. And that's totally fine. What we can do is add in, maybe I like that brown color, but oh, wait, where is my colors, right? I don't know. Let me see. I've got colors lined up on the right side of the panel, but they're not. It's my Swolemates brand, which you might have seen before, but it's not this brand. So I need to go back and go to the projects panel and click brands. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click create a brand. And this is so good for helping you streamline and get your work out the door. You can upload your logo. I'm not sure if I really want to do that yet. Let's do it, actually. See if my drive will work for me. Actually, let me export this fresh real quick. Right before stream happened, I was having some technical difficulties. So just bear with me while I export this badge really quick. I'm going to click the bounding box, boom, export, artboard 14. I'm just going to call it desktop artboard 14. Fine. Click that, range 14, boom. All right, now I've got this transparent logo. Now I can upload my logo, and I won't use this for everything. Like I said, I want like variety is kind of the spice of life, and I want it to always feel like new and refreshing whenever I'm posting on this Behance project or posting on social. But what I'm going to do is actually go back to my artboard on Illustrator, and I'm going to pull my color palettes now. So unfortunately, I can't just grab the color palettes from my libraries like you would kind of expect right now, but you can post it like this, just get the hex values, and then I can choose my fonts. So I've uploaded my fonts already earlier, but you can always click it and add more, which is super helpful. Let me see if I can do that really quick. Add Switzer. And then confirm that I own these fonts. Now it's going to sync. So this is super helpful. So if you're working with a brand that has, a very complicated type system or hierarchy, all this stuff is super helpful. I know that if you're in chat, you've been with me before, you know that I'm obviously going to upload Comic Papyrus at some point, just for the memes, as we love to call them. So I'm just going to go with, I think, medium to start for the brand typeface. I want it to be very clean and simple. And I'm going to call this Summer Camp 22. So that's creating my brand. So very simply, you can kind of see from the start, you're pulling in your color palette, your type, your brand logos and everything. It's just to give you some really lovely pieces. Voodoo Bell says, I give up. Annika says, I'm here for it. So yeah, great. Love it. Thank you guys. So let me see, where is my logo? Did it stick? Don't know if it's stuck. Let me refresh this real quick. There we go, Summer Camp. So what I'm going to do here, right now, Soulmates has the star on it. That means that it's my default brand by default. So what I want to do is actually make the new one my brand, and this will come up every time. Now that I'm making collateral pieces and things like that, make sure you set for default, or you might be using brand color palettes from other brands. So just something to keep in mind whenever you're working on this. And then what I'm going to do is click manage. And what I'm going to do is add more colors. You can also add more logos or additional typefaces as well if you need or want to, which is awesome. I'm going to add the dark blue now from my Illustrator file. And then I'm going to grab this like khaki color or beige. Voodoo Val says all your brands look so nice and organized. I wish I could take credit for that. That is really, that's Express doing all that clean, organized stuff. It's really, really lovely. It's stuff in kind of formation and all that stuff. And I do recommend that if you do start using Express a lot and you start to have a ton of projects, keeping your files organized is super, super helpful. So if you go to like your projects page, I've started cleaning up some of my stuff. It's not completely clean yet. I apologize. More of a do as I say, less like I do situation right now, but that's totally fine. What I've started doing is like even putting like Soulmates together in the Soulmates bucket, and the gradient project for tomorrow, a little teaser of what's going to happen tomorrow. But yes, keep them kind of in these buckets and folders, and you can quickly spin up a new folder with this button right here on the top right of your screen, which is great. When I view, Voodoo Bell says, when I view my brands page, I feel like I can visualize my projects really well. Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. Express is awesome for that. Yeah, folders are super helpful to keep everything super organized. All right, so really quickly, looking back on this, now we've got our color palette in there. I can add additional fonts if I want to as well, or I can just kind of use them ad hoc. And I think for this project, I might be doing a little bit of both. I might be using, a lot of Switzer, and I might be using a little bit of additional ones. I'm going to actually probably use like Switzer for both. So I'll probably use headline. Let me do Switzer extra bold. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust Proxima Nova and make it Switzer. Yeah. Okay, Switzer regular. So that'll be helpful. That gives me a lot of customization. All right, we're in a good spot now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this Behance project that I've already started working on. I made some billboards and some GIFs and things like that because I love kind of bringing some motion elements in there. I want to have a little bit more of a robust case study. What I'm really missing right now is I would love to do, I'm going to use Express to make a website with y'all in a moment, but what I would love is some social pieces. I need some rockin' social. What up, Sam? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, let's go back into it. So what we're gonna actually start doing is start making our own posts for Instagram. I love seeing like really defined systems on Behance case studies. So that's why I love seeing like a plethora of your social pieces, not just like a one-off social piece. And I think that also performs really well on Behance project. So what we're gonna do is actually start pulling in some of the pieces we have. So I've got images that I've already been using, but you can also use photos directly from the photo library here. I highly recommend the sidebar here. Just by typing in like water ripple, we'll probably get some really great images. I want something that feels like more inviting. So this like pool texture right here feels really nice. It feels like inviting on a hot summer day. You can really get excited about this stuff. These crowns here means that you have access through your Adobe Creative Cloud account. If you don't have access to it, that's totally fine. You can still use Express. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this in here. I've got a logo that I think would be a really good kind of pairing with it. What I'm going to do is end up going to pull it from my panels here. I've got this one right here. So I love this piece. I'm going to put this into my libraries just like we showed earlier. Whenever you click add graphic, boom, added. So easy. Summer camp tall logo. And just call it tall logo. Bada bing, bada boom. And now I'm going to pull that in through my libraries panel. Again, right there. And just click it once. So this is really like, look how simple that is. Just like quickly by having it in your libraries, you're already pulling this stuff together. The whole point of this is streamlining your workflow and getting this work out the door as quickly as possible. And not only doing that for yourself, but also for your clients and making sure that, you know, everybody that you're working with can leverage the benefits of working with you. So that's why it's super helpful. And then you can share this, or you can add like people. So if I wanted to give, you know, Voodoo Val access to this file so she can collaborate with me in real time, she can have that by just adding her to the file, which is awesome. I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it down towards the bottom. What I'm going to end up doing here is probably, I like the size of the summer camp logo right here, but I want this water to be a little bit bigger and beefier. So I'm just going to keep kind of scaling it up until I'm happy with it. And I'm going to pull this up. That feels pretty good, but I think the white right now feels a little too sterile, and that's probably okay for certain executions. Obviously, I've already kind of used something similar on this like poster mockup. I think that's really fun. But I think for social, I might want something that's a little bit more colorful. So what I can do quickly is I can just edit the background color by going in here. Now you've got, it's pulling the summer camp color palette. So it can quickly just sell, okay, dark blue and black, kind of hard to read. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe it needs to be this kind of like beige, or maybe it's this blue. So you have so many options that you can start doing really quickly without having to like reinvent the wheel or doing extra things in the background. I also have this, in my library, as I showed you earlier, I have this noise file, and this noise file is, I think, kind of one of the cheat codes for how I'm going to make this work feel pretty consistent, but also kind of like a little pixelated. So by seeing this, you can already see it's like adding a little bit of that like noisy, grainy effect to it. But I think it's maybe a little too chunky right now. So I'm going to just lower the opacity a tiny bit. I think it was making a little bit too weathered, but these are great things. Like think about like layers as you would be with, you know, your Photoshop or your Illustrator files. You have that ability to kind of just texture things, layer things upon each other, and really start making really great pieces. So it's super fun. So I love working with an Express on this stuff. All right, so Boom. That's one social piece down. Let's call it Summer Camp Social 1. That took us what, like a whole 2 minutes or something like that? Let's do that. What up, Leon? All right, so that's cool. That's a really simple file right there. I'm going to make another Instagram post. What I'm going to do is let's maybe like find like a surfing photo maybe and start playing with this stuff. Surf. Some really fun ones. Let's see here. Maybe there's, yeah, this could be a good one. So maybe there's an opportunity for us to crop this one. I can use a couple different like shape filters in the crop panel as well, which is great. I think the best one's probably this oval, as it kind of reinforces the cyclical nature of this wave, which is super fun. So I'm going to use that and then pull that into the middle. And then I can either use a logo in the background, or I can start playing with some of the type on the background, or I can just keep it as like a live type. So let's see here. I've got, how do I want to do this? So let's grab maybe an element from one of these pieces. Maybe I want to incorporate some of this stuff. So if I don't necessarily want to use live type, sometimes I can do this as well, where I can just grab this piece and then go to the libraries. And then I could do text, or I can just do graphic, I could do paragraph styles. Those are all super helpful. But I think for the sake of importing it really quickly, let's just grab it for like an image. Text block. So I can grab this, and what I can do is import the image again from the library section. Sometimes you got to reload it really quickly to get it to link together. Leon asks, do you have a brush for the Fibonacci spiral? So we know how in tune it is with the universe. It's a great question, Leon. I do not, but I would love if you could add one to my Creative Cloud library with you. That would be helpful. All right, so I got this piece now. That's fun. I'm just going to pull it down and then kind of make it a little bit smaller, so it feels, you know, maybe more like a secondary element. I need to put some type in the background. Let's see here. Let's go to type and then click add text. And so what you'll have here is, obviously by default, you have a bunch of really great options on the side, but today we're really focusing on kind of making our own variations of these things. So we're not going to use our own starting templates for these individual pieces. But what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll have my Switzer, which is the typeface we uploaded earlier, and it'll pull it in directly. I don't want that color. I want a dark blue. Let's see here. So if I do, what should I say? Surf set. I'm going to keep it all caps, surfs. Maybe it's surfs up and surfs up, tools down. Speaking to kind of creative recharge and just finding a way to have some time for yourself. Let me pull this behind, making it a little bit harder to read. So maybe I just need to strip out some of the language as well. Leon says, these logos would make a great t-shirt design. I would love to see what your process looks like to generate various mockups for online stores. Yeah, I would love to do that. I think we can go through that really quickly. But mockups are a whole thing and a half and not particularly helpful for today's stream, I don't think, but we'll figure out. Maybe there's a quick little rundown on that I can do. And then Val says, I think most of us would wear a shirt by Alex. I appreciate that. Maybe one day. Surfs up, tools down. That's the way to party town. That's great. Thank you, CJ. Let's do that. Let's do some that's the way to party town. Let me see. I think I have a really fun serif that I can add. Let's see if I can grab that. What does it say? That's the way to party town. Boom. Let's see if we can grab this real quickly. I'm just going to add this as a graphic as well. You can obviously import that typeface and pull it in there as well. I'm just trying to see if I can pull it around. Let's see. Okay, libraries. I'll do a quick little refresh. I'll see you later, Annika. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go straight into libraries again. Ba-da-boom, ba-boom. All right, that's the way to party town. I really like that, actually. It looks good, really big across the bottom. So I'm going to keep that there. I'm wondering if I need to, I'm going to pull it smaller just a tiny bit. I'm wondering, how can I make this feel a little bit more considered? And I think if I add another water ripple in the background, that will be super helpful. Or I need ocean. That's what I need. Ocean. Cool. I think this might work. So what I'm trying to do here is just make it as big as possible in the background. And then I'm going to go down to the layer section here and then pull it down to the very, very bottom so that everything else is kind of floating nicely on it. It's quite nice, but I think I might want to do some filters or enhancements to kind of play with it and change it up a bit. So I think contrast, probably lower, brightness down as well, just so I can have a little bit more contrast between the foreground and the background a little bit, but also try to keep it like the image is kind of the same series somehow. Let me see if I can, does this need to be light blue then? Surfs up, tools down. We also have a lot of different options we can do with the how the type is presented. So we can use the grid system, or we can have it rotated. I don't know why it's, there we go. I'm gonna do that. Surfs up, tools down. That could work. Or maybe this needs to be cropped as a circle then, kind of play on the reinforcement of both of them. Let's see here. Load the crop. Sometimes it needs a little, refresh love. Let's see here. Okay, so we lost the type change, but that's okay. Let's see if we can adjust the crop and how it starts to feel that way. Cool, so we got that image, and then, I don't know, maybe I need to put on, let me add a image or sort of shape. So I'm gonna do square, basic shape. And what I'm gonna do is with this shape, I'm going to take the color fill and just start pulling it into our color palette a little bit more. You also have the option, so here's one option. I can also just take the image that we have here, apply a filter. I can do a dual tone or grayscale or darken, lighten, contrast, any of these things as well, which is just really simple. It's pretty nice. Let me also, so I can do a dual tone. If I do a duotone, then I can pull my color palette pieces, obviously that's going to feel really dark. What I'm going to want to do is just make it like white and blue. But no, not a big fan. Enhancements, blur. So I can do another one. I can do some dark and light. I think that might work better. I can also take this color palette or this image as well, and I can adjust how it sits on these images. So I can screen it. I can keep it normal, and I can change the opacity for each of these pieces as well. So you have lots of options. Val says, I also love duotone. Duotone is awesome. It's one of my favorite kind of ways of pulling and making images feel more cohesive. I think tomorrow we're going to be working on a lot more duotone images. Tomorrow's like a much more corporate version. Today is like much more creative, recharge, have fun with it, and play with it in a way that makes you happy. So let's see here. So I can do this. Serif steps tools is down. I can also change this to be I think that's looking kind of interesting. We can also adjust letter spacing and things like that to kind of get the type to be a little bit smaller if we want, or we can keep it really kind of close and cohesive. That's always fun as well. That's kind of fun. I like how it's looking and feeling. I think what I'm missing right now is probably just, I think it feels a little bit too busy. So let me just pull this, try it with the background. Boom. I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to pull this below. And then I'm going to, let me actually just move this up. There we go. So it's there in the corners. And then I'm going to adjust this, and I'm going to make, see, this is the downside of keeping images as images and not importing the type. What we're going to do really quickly is just pull this and make a version with the light blue. And then I'm going to add it, add graphic, and party town. Cool. So now we're there. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to go to libraries again. I should just preemptively refresh just in case. Steve says an octopus or a starfish in the water would sell it more. That's a really interesting idea. I like it. Maybe we can do a starfish cropped with a star. Have some fun with that. Cool. So this is going to work nicely. You still see the old one back there, so delete that. Cool. That's sweet. So I like that. That's fun. It's whimsical. I like the type working with it. If I ever want to, I can adjust the scale or the image in the background, but let's start working on some other pieces. Click the image, make sure this is centered. I also love doing things where you can have like kind of reinforced concentric shapes. So you could also do something like this, where it's kind of like off from each other as well. That's always kind of a fun way of doing things. Maybe we do that. I kind of like the center for this one specifically. All right, go up. Boom. I'm going to pull it up just slightly and then push it over. Cool. All right, that's one. We'll call it Party Town. Done. Easy clap. Oh no, what happened? Did I miss memes? I missed memes jokes in chat? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, chat. Yes, in this channel, we pronounce memes memes, as Voodoo Val is a big proponent of. What up, Caroline? All right, let's go try out making a web page. So this is super exciting. Now that we've got kind of Switzer built into it, I'm not sure if anybody's seen this yet, but boom, we're gonna get a web page. So this is super exciting. We'll just spend a little bit of time on it really quickly, but I think it's, especially when you're trying to build these kind of like case study pieces really quickly, it's really fun to see. Summer camp. We can also do summer camp caps. Yeah, it feels good. All right. And they'll say like Los Angeles 2022. Cool. And now I'm going to go, boom, background. Show me the web page. All right. You click California, I guess. Let's see, find photos of California. This is fun. I could always do the surf thing, but I think I want to do this image. I think this is like very prototypical. Boom, look at that. See, already you've got a really cool header. You've got some parallax happening with the type staying on your center of your screen. And now you can start adding in photo grids and split layouts, buttons, text, whatever you need to quickly spin it up. And once you're done, you can present it, or you can also share it and you can publish it live. Literally have your own web page devoted to your project, which is awesome. So I highly recommend everybody doing that. We can build a photo grid really quickly of just like some surfing. Just get pitted like whoop-ah, whoop-ah. Just in case anybody's not seen that historic meme. All right, what we'll do here is really quickly is text. We'll do an H1, we'll say Y. And then I will pull some of my type from the creative brief just really quickly. So we're kind of moving it along. And then could do, center it. And then more text. We'll make that at H1 as well. Center that, pull that from the next section. Leon, that's great. Leon's asking questions about Web3, but if you didn't know, on Behance, you can post your NFTs that you own on your Behance page now. Just in case you didn't know. All right, let me, boom, boom, boom. All right, what, why, when? Now we just need when. Bada bing, bada boom. Center that, and then grab this copy really quickly. And you'll see you've already kind of built a really, really fast web page, which is pretty insane to think about. Like when I first started designing, web pages were such an arduous task to do. The fact that you can do it so quickly in Express and have a really good looking website done probably like 10 minutes is pretty amazing. You can add captions here if you want. You can put videos. Let's like we can always put that meme whoop-ah get pitted video in there if people needed to like see it, you know, we could always do that. That's always fun. Cool. So that's really simple. We can do photos. We can add buttons, you know, like a button like visit my Behance. And just go, okay. And goes boom, center align it, boom. So we can do that really quickly. You can edit it if you need to, but you've got, you know, these buttons here. And we can do really quickly just to show you. So I don't want to spend too much time on it today, but just want to show you really quickly how you can start to kind of get this work going. You got the summer camp, you got the whys, the whats, the whens, you got this big image, whatever images you want to pull in there. And you got your button, obviously that spacing needs some adjusting. And then you got credits for all the images, which is awesome. So you don't even have to like spend tons and tons of time building credit lines. Adobe will already do that for you as part of your website when you're using Adobe Stock, which is huge. So that's awesome. All right, let's go back to Creative Cloud Express. All right. What do we want to see? Do we want posters? What do you think? What What do you want, chat? Posters, social, anything? Let's do a poster to start, maybe like a flyer. So what you can do is you can always use these templates and themes on the side. So we see this one right here. This one's kind of cool. Instead of this paper in the background, what I want to do is actually change it. So I can click replace here really quickly, and I can go, okay, cool, water, like texture. See if that pulls us up anything. Oops, it's pulling design assets. What I want is actually a photo. So I'm going to just do water ripple or water texture. Let's see if that changes anything just by changing context of what we're wording. Oh yeah, this is lovely looking in the background. And okay, so the image is at multiply at 46. I'm actually just going to change that to be normal. And let's see. Let me refresh my page real quick. All right, gotta find that image again. That's okay. All right, let's go to image, replace, go to photos, water texture. That seems to give me better images than what I was looking for earlier with the water ripple effect. What I'm going to do is multiply at 100 and then click normal. See if that fixes it. So what I want to see is the image. No. All right, maybe water ripple is not the correct thing for me right now. Let me just refresh it. Seems like it's having a little bit of issues with that little piece. That's okay. We are fine. Oh, it's loaded at this time though. Perfect. All right. Let's see if changing the opacity. Okay. Now if I click normal, we are saved. We are saved. All right, cool. Now what I can do is I can click this magic design button, and what I'll do is apply brand, and then I'll do a shuffle. So we can quickly just use this if we wanted to. Maybe I want to just start pulling in these images. Oh, another great thing that I forgot to tell you is you can literally download this as a PNG or PDF. Once you download these as a PDF, you can pull it into your Illustrator. You can pull any of the icons and things off of it as well. So it's still vectored, it's layered, and it allows you to be editing all this work. When I click the magic brand button, it automatically put the logo in here, which is always something fun. But I don't need it right there. Instead, I want to get rid of some of these extraneous elements. I want to find a surfboard shape. Surfboard. Oh, fun. Cool. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the background to maybe that. Maybe I'll make it white. I don't know yet. I think white will probably actually work better. So let me pull it to be white. If I want to keep exploring with different options, I can obviously do that. There's tons of really great pieces in this side panel on the shapes. Let me see if there's anything. I think this is actually a pretty good one. I think maybe this one will be a fun one to explore as well. It's a little bit too curvy for me, I think, but that's okay. Yeah, I kind of like this one more. It's got a little bit more angular elements to it, and it's kind of fun. Cool. So what I'm going to do here is, I don't know, chat, you have any good copy suggestions? Let me know in chat and I'll incorporate it real quick. But in the meantime, let's do summer camp. Summer. Boom. So this will be June through July. And I'm going to actually change this from extra bold. I'm going to make it to medium, I think. And then what I'm going to do is play with the treatment of it. Maybe I want this to be a rounded version instead. That's a little hard to read though. Nope. I can always just do like a grid. I can do one of these crazy systems as well, or I could just treat this like that. Just take out this bit too, and that could work. If I needed to, I can also just, I don't know, June through July, maybe it's this. I'll just do what I was doing originally, June through July. And let me lower that down and play with the line letter spacing, track it out. Boom. I'm going to all caps it actually. June. July. There we go. Butterfly action. All right, perfect. Now center it at that. Okay, cool. Let's make it smaller actually. Let's do like 18. Let's go smaller. We'll do like 14. Cool, that's working there. Let's see here. What did Surf and Turf Thrift Store? Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Surf and Turf Thrift Store. Thank you, CJ. All right, we'll do that. This is incredible. And then we'll actually pull back that shape that we saw earlier. There was like a what do you call that? What was that? It was like a bubble. Man, I don't even know what that's called. Like a ribbon badge button bubble thingy. What are these things called? Chat, help me. I don't know what these are called. So funny. Let me grab the pay less than it's worth bit. Let's see here. Clever asks, is there a way to collect Express projects together, like an event with different pieces? Example, poster, flyer, webpage, and postcard. Yes, absolutely. You can do that in the projects panel. Whenever you go here, you can build like a folder. So if you click new folder here, you can change it, and then you can build it all and put it all in your summer camp section. So yeah, I can just like click this, click move, and then move it into summer camp, just like that. I can take this, move that into summer camp as well. And now you've got kind of all those pieces all in the same spot. So what I'll do is I'll click into this and then edit project, and then bada bing. Perfecto. All right, let's see here. We've got about 10 minutes left, less than 10 minutes, like 6 minutes left. So if you do have any questions, please answer, or if you want them answered, let me know. I'll get to them real quick. And Val says ribbon. I think that is a, ooh, is this going to be what I need? Basic shapes. And flowers, no. Frames, triangles, rectangles. There's so many shapes. I want like a star, but not a star. I want like a ribbony star. But I can always do this, and then what I can do is I can click this and then click duplicate it, and then I'll rotate it if I wanted something a little bit more custom. So something like that could work really nicely. What I'm going to do is actually change this black, ungroup it. I'm gonna take this black, this piece, and what I'm gonna do is make it dark blue, make it dark blue, and then group them back up together. Group, bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna click this, make it dark blue. This, dark blue. And then I'm going to group these as well. So this and this. Boom, boom, group. Now I have this little piece here if I need to. Just grab it, shrink it down. I can start to play with the type. That was the, can you use clipping mask in Express? I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. I've tried to. I've typically had to make clipping mask in Photoshop and then just pull it in from my library or through Illustrator. You can do just like the basic crops, but nothing super complex yet in Express. What was the quote? It was pay less than it's worth. Let me put that in a circle. Have some fun with that. I'm going to ungroup this just to see if I can adjust it slightly. Cool. That's a little bit more balanced. Pay less than it's worth. What I'm going to do is just going to grab a shape real quick and then just dollar sign. Is that a basic shape? There we go, dollar sign. And I just pull this in here. Boom, change the color really quickly and pull it into this shape. So you have lots and lots of flexibility within this as well. So it's always super fun to seeing kind of what you can create really quickly with in Express. Group, and then try to center this. I'm going to optically center it. Boom. I'm going to rotate all these pieces. I'm going to group it and then rotate it. Group, rotate. Boom. I'm going to remove this star. I'm going to remove this. And then if we wanted to, we could keep something like this. Maybe it's something to like call back to the Behance project. I just do that really quickly. That's a very long URL. So I actually won't be doing that. I'll just keep it more minimal. Cool. So that's another piece. So not bad. That's like, we literally have like 3 minutes now. I see that somebody asked a question. How do you get clients to be able to have and use the templates in Express if they don't have a Creative Cloud account? They don't need a Creative Cloud account. You can share and add them to every project by just clicking the invite stakeholders or the invite button right there. So in that top right, you can either download those pieces or add them as collaborators. So super, super easy for them. This is really like where this excels, is being able to like let you build all your projects, have all the little pieces, and then have people kind of be able to adjust or systematize. I've talked to a lot of designers recently who have been doing this exact same thing, but it like having to send over Photoshop files or other things. And the clients don't have Photoshop or don't have the technical skill set for that. And this is really just an awesome way for you to start getting them in the fold, making them a great collaborator, helping you get work out the door. It's a really great tool to help empower you and empower your clients as well. So great question. And Adobe Express is free, just like Samantha said. So it's free 99. Use it. It's awesome. Any other questions? I'm going to sail away with savings. Clever says that's amazing. Clever says, I have a collaborator who wants to use Express, but is limited without access to Adobe stock. Oh, definitely don't need it for that. Yes, it's a little limiting without having some of those images, but there's lots of different Adobe, like not Adobe stock, but other stock websites that are free that you can import by just clicking the like photos button and then clicking upload. So by doing that, you can upload in whatever you need to. So you have so much flexibility really at your fingertips. So it's huge. Let's call this flyer. Surf and turf flyer. So really quickly, I can also walk you through with the last minute we have some of like all the pieces we've got. So we've got, you know, another image here where you're starting to mess with like top banners and things like that, where you might, this kind of feels like a web page, maybe it's an Instagram post or a story. By being able to pull all these things together and just share it online, super, super easy, super fun. What else we got in here? Little things like this where you just very, very simple, very clean, very minimal, like allows you to just get the content out at the fingertips of your clients, which is massive. So yeah, super, super simple. I've loved working on this. I hope you all have as well. Make sure that you participate this summer if you want to. I have the creative brief again on my Behance. You can go there, download it, participate. I'm going to be working on this over the next couple of weeks as well, and be constantly updating this project and be using Express throughout it. So make sure that you kind of tune in for that and stick around and hang out, and please tag me in any of your pieces that you're posting on your Behance or social. I'd love to see it and love to kind of comment and check it out. But thank you so much. Stick around for some more Adobe streams after this. See y'all later. Bye-bye.